Growing up with games, we realized that a lot of companies do some really bogus, borderline unsettling marketing ads to make you buy their games. When I say unsettling stuff, I'm talking really out there advertising.
Embarrassing bald spots, no problem. It even slices and dices, makes thousands of julienne fries. But wait, you can play it too.
With several over-the-top commercials hyping up these games, it was really hard to see if they even cared about the consumer. And most of these fabricated games ended up being major bitter pills. It's a great way to bait in gamers, but is it really worth it? Well, of course, we're talking truckloads of money here, and who doesn't like that good old fiat, even if we have to stretch the truth a little. Now, not all of these chaotic over-the-top ads worked. Some were just bad, and made you stay far, far away from ever buying that game. Now, trailers aren't always the key to getting someone to buy your games, but it's the best way to show your game and what it's all about. A big example is the game Tower Climb, where the trailer just doesn't really sell the game. The game relies more on word of mouth and first-hand experience. The game is well crafted and it's a beauty, but it deserves much more love than it already has. But not everyone has the money to gamble when it comes to choosing a new game. You can watch a review online or rely on friends' input, but sometimes trying it yourself is the best option, as opinions differ with everyone. Usually an already established franchise has more of a chance of being picked over a new IP with a small CGI snippet showing what the game might be like. Franchises can get away with this because players already treaded familiar ground and already have expected expectations. Even if it isn't advertised well, some games end up gems. They never got the attention they needed, and I'm going to start off with an artistic classic known as Ico. It's infamous for its North American box art, which I'll get to in a sec. If you haven't heard of the game, you should put that on your list, for it has an HD edition on the PS3. With an overall well-received feedback, it's a must-play, and same thing goes for its spiritual successor, Shadow of the Colossus. Now about Ico. Lead developer onodera wanted to make a platformer with a simple boy meets girl concept with a more unique take to it. The player takes control of two characters. He wanted to build an emotional bond between the character using actions instead of words. That ended up working and leading into a more impactful and meaningful relationship between the two characters. Really artistic stuff. I mean, the subtle changes in characters, the body language, the struggles they go through. Oh man, it's just perfect. And I can't get enough of it. The development team took their time creating a masterpiece, and you can see it around the game's world. But with all that time in the world, it makes you wonder what the fuck was running through the North American localization team when they released the cover art for the States. The fucking cover art looks like it's straight out of a lost episode of Max Steel.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for my friend, Josh McGrath. He's in the docks.
I'm the only one here.
Funny. That looks just like Josh's bike.
Like, are you serious? Is this what they thought that North America would buy? This? Really? Who even fucking designed that piece of garbage? Better yet, who hired the guy behind this and greenlit this render? I mean, come on, it just doesn't do this game justice. And I'm being serious about that too. It's been rumored that the sales might have suffered in America due to the unappealing cover, but this isn't anything new. This happens so often in gaming that it boggles my mind on how someone can just fuck it up so badly. It's like they get off on our suffering. But when you try to look at it through the perspective of the localization team, maybe they were actually thinking that this was a nice choice that the consumer would buy. Advertising takes a lot of money, and you have to constantly adapt to what is trending and how you should market to those consumers. Sometimes it works, and it works well. Other time it just crashes and burns, being underwhelming or mediocre. A prime example is that consistently delayed Mighty No. 9, but that would have to be its own video for another time. As the case for Ico, it sucks to see a game suffer weak sales due to something almost completely unrelated to the core game itself. I'm not saying Ico itself is a great game because of its gameplay mechanics, because honestly that's not what makes the game good. The gameplay is actually pretty stale and repetitive, but it's the design, the characters, the overall atmosphere of the world so close to ours. That's the juice that keeps you coming back for more. I think what more game developers should focus on is getting your game out there and making it look good. This is your baby we're talking about here. You want to be able to brag about your craft to everyone out there. The amount of time you put crafting your games, the man hours, the overtime, the blood, sweat, and tears put into each letter of coding, this effort should also equally be shared to the advertising phrase. Just take a look at Kojima's effort put into each of his MGS5 trailers. It kept players salivating, anticipating its release, He even is going as far as to trick the players. It's outstanding. I never knew waiting for a game could be so thrilling, and so thought-provoking, where you have communities dedicated to discussing just what the hell the game is possibly going to be about, where everyone works together to find out what's going on. It's that kind of effort that makes the player feel so much more welcome into buying your game. You don't need a AAA cinematic trailer or a marketing scheme like a pre-order exclusive overpriced item. We don't care about that stuff. We just want our devs to show us what we're in for and what to expect, and to make sure that our hard-earned cash doesn't go to waste.